Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a thrifted book haul. All these books I found secondhand in a charity shop. All were priced between €1 and 50¢. So yeah, I did find a good few gems, I have to say, and I'm pretty excited. I live in a smallish town, so it's, to get really good books is rare. But I did find a few and I'm quite excited about them. The first one I picked up, I couldn't believe this when I seen it. It's a hardback in perfect condition. It looks like it has been read because one or two pages has been folded down in the corner. But the spine is still intact and all, so I'm pretty delighted with that. And it's Normal People by Sally Rooney. So as you can see, like, even the cover is, the paper or the sleeve is in perfect condition. This one cost me €1. So yeah, can't complain about that. So I've actually never read any of Sally Rooney's books. I have seen some of the TV show based off of this book. I never finished it though. So I actually wouldn't mind sitting down and reading this because of what I did see of the TV show. I enjoyed. So yeah, quite chuffed with that little find. The next one I found was actually one that I had on my TBR for a while, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This one again, it cost me 50¢, and it's like in perfect condition. The spine is still intact, like it almost looks like it hadn't been read. But yeah, this one I've wanted to read for a while. I think, as far as I know, it's a young adult book. And I've heard like there's a bit of mixed media in it, like text messages and stuff or transcripts or something. It sounded interesting anyway, so I'm sure majority of you will have heard this book before. But it just says on the back, the case is closed. 5 years ago, schoolgirl Andy Bell was murdered by Sal Singh. The police know he did it. Everyone in the town knows he did it. Having grown up in the same small town that was consumed by the murder, Pippa isn't so sure. When she chooses the case as a topic for her final year project, she starts to uncover secrets that someone in the town desperately wants to stay hidden. And if the real killer is still out there, how far will they go to keep Pippa from finding out the truth? It definitely sounds like it'll be a good book. So that's probably why it's been on my TBR. So yeah, found that one. Then next I have Only Yours by Louise O'Neill. So this year I read my first Louise O'Neill book. She's an Irish author, and the book I read was Idle, which I think I mentioned in one of my videos before. I really enjoyed the book, so when I spotted this in the charity shop, I was like, you know what, I may as well get it because it was on my list of more books to read by authors. So I actually, honestly, I don't even know what this one's about. So I'm just going to read from the back. All I knew was I wanted this one because it was by Louise O'Neill and I wanted to read more of her books. So that's why I picked it up. So on the back it says, Freda and Isabel have been best friends their whole lives. Now aged 16 and in the final year at school, they expect to be selected as companions, wives to wealthy and powerful men. The alternative, life as a concubine, is too horrible to contemplate. But as the intensity of the final year takes hold, the pressure to remain perfect becomes almost unbearable. Isabel starts to self-destruct, putting her beauty, her only assets, in peril. And then the boys arrive, eager to choose a bride. It sounds interesting. Okay, so the next few actually are by the same author, and that's Stephen King. So this one is Needful Things. So I haven't read any of these books before, and I want to read more Stephen King books just because he is Stephen King. I have read The Shining and I enjoyed it. Not as much as I thought I would, but we won't go there. It just says something for everyone, something you really have to have, and always at a price you could just about afford, the cash price that is, because there was another price. There always is when your heart's most secret true desire is for sale. Interesting. It is a big ass book though, so I'm kind of worried in that sense, but have it, I'll read it eventually. So the next one is Stephen King's Skeleton Crew. So this is a collection of short stories. And I know this one actually has, I think it is one of his popular, The Mist. And I remember seeing the movie and I enjoyed it. So I'd be interested to read that. I'm kind of getting into short stories now just because you can pick them up and read a story a night or something. I like the idea of that. So I'll more than likely pick this one up soon. So this is, I think this one was from the 80s and it's an American one because it's all like American dollars on it, and it has Goodwill sticker on the bottom. So this one definitely came from America, but it's a mass market paperback and I just love the look of it. It's really cool. It's aesthetically pleasing, as you might say. Then the next one is another Stephen King book, and it's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. And this again is a collection of short stories. Definitely a big collection of short stories, I'd say. Again, I'm just getting into short stories, and I think that's the best way to go into Stephen King, is maybe reading some of his shorter stories first and then picking up some of his other things. But again, I love the cover. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It's quite cool. That goddamn dog. And these all only cost me 50 cents. Then recently I went in and I picked up this one, and this honestly the reason I picked it up was because there's a parental advisory sticker on it saying read at your own risk. And this is Haunted by Chuck. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the second name because I will butcher it. But the cover, it's the cover that caught me. Like I just, it drew me in, and it's in perfect condition again. Yeah, this is short stories as well. It is made up of 23 of the most horrifying, hilarious, mind-blowing, stomach-churning tales you'll ever encounter. And I like the idea of that. Again, picking up my short stories. So yeah, I'll have to start reading that. I'd say I'll pick this one up during October. It'd probably be the perfect read. Then the next one, oh my God. Me and my sister, when we were younger, we used to always go to the library and we always took out these books. We couldn't read them because we were kids. Like the words, like the both of us are dyslexic, her more so than me. But it's just hilarious because we just used to buy them because we loved the show, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I've been keeping my eye out trying to find these. I'd love to collect them. I have 2 now, and this is the only one I can currently find. I literally bought it and I put it over on my desk the other day and it's just not there now. So I'm a bit freaked out over that. But this one is the Gatekeeper Trilogy, Book 2. Again, these were like 50 cents and it get perfect condition. Like there's not anything wrong with it. Spine's not bent, nothing. So yeah, I'm definitely going, obviously I'm going to read them. But I really, really hope I can find more of them. I would love to collect these. Like seriously, would love to collect them. Then the next one I got was more that I'm trying to find. But I think it'll be a bit of difficulty actually finding them. And that is the Goosebumps book. So this one is Give Yourself Goosebumps, Escape from Camp, Run for Your Life. And this one is, as well, it's in decent condition. The spine is still intact. But I love how the aging has happened on the book. Like it's got that real yellow style or yellow look to it. And I love that with old books. But yeah, this one, as far as I know, it's you choose like endings and stuff like that. So I've never read anything like that. So I'll be interested to see what this one's like. But yeah, I really want to pick up more of them. Then the next one I found, which I was pretty like excited about, because as far as I'm aware, don't come at me, I think this is a first edition, if I'm correct, and that is Rose Madder by Stephen King, and this is the hardback. As far as I'm aware, this is the first edition, and again, it's in perfect condition. Someone obviously just decided that they were getting rid of their Stephen King collection, and I'm not going to complain because I now want them. So, roused by a single drop of blood on the bedsheet, Rosie Daniels awakens from a 14-year nightmare marriage and suddenly takes flight. She used her husband's ATM card to buy a bus ticket, determined to lose herself in a place where Norman won't find her. She'll worry about the rest later. Alone in a strange city, she begins to make a new life and good things start to happen. Meeting Bill Steiner is one, and finding a junk shop painting is another. It may be bad art, but it's perfect for her new apartment, and somehow it seems to want her as much as she wants it. Still, it's hard for Rosie not to keep looking over her shoulder, and with good reason. Her husband is a cop with instincts of a predator. He is very good at finding people. The fact that he's losing his mind might even be an advantage. Rose maddened and on a rampage, Norman Daniels becomes a force of becomes a force of relentless, becomes a force of relentless terror and savageness, a man almost mythic in his monstrosity. For Rosie to survive, for her to have the chance of a brave new world, she must enter her own myth, a world that lies beneath the surface of the work of art, and become a woman she never knew she could be. Rose Madder. Definitely sounds like an interesting one. I actually have never heard of this one before. But then again, Stephen King has so many books that there's a chance you're going to go through life and not know them all. So the next one I was actually very surprised to find in a charity shop, and that is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This was on my TBR for a while as well, because I had read a Penelope Douglas book and I loved it. So I started adding like all of her books to a list of books I wanted to read. So this one we're following two people who became pen pals in school when they were younger, because it was supposed to be like a same-sex pen pals, and it turned out because their names were gender neutral, it ended up being a girl and a boy, and they obviously develop a relationship through their pen pal, but they've never met. And then I'd say they meet and it doesn't end as they were hoping, or something like that anyway. I think it's a love to hate book, if I'm correct, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like. But I had to pick it up. It was Penelope Douglas and it was €1. 50 cent. It was 50 cent. So the next one I picked up again, the description on the back of this one like literally caught my eye, and this is Milkman by Anna Burns. So I'm just going to read the back of it because this is what caught my attention. In an unnamed city where to be interesting is dangerous, an 18-year-old woman has attracted the unwanted and unavoidable attention of a powerful and frightening older man, Milkman. In the community where suggestions quickly become fact, where gossip and hearsay can lead to terrible consequences, what can she do to stop a rumour once it has started? Milkman is persistent, the word is spreading, and she is no longer in control. Like, tell me that doesn't sound like it's going to be a really good story. And it says over 500,000 copies sold and shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2019. So I'm assuming it is good. So yeah, I just had to get this. It was a perfect condition and it was 50 cent. So then the last two I have this was actually, I went into a charity shop and they had like a little kind of horror thriller section for, obviously we're coming into the spooky season. So this one caught my eye. It was the cover that caught my eye. So I actually have no idea what this book is about. So, this one is called A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And I thought it was like, when I first seen it, I thought it was a graphic novel, but it's not. But the cover just looks so interesting. So it's got loads of awards for, and it just, I don't know, it was definitely the cover that caught my eye. But it just says, the monster showed up after midnight, as they do. But it isn't the monster Connor's been expecting. He's been expecting the one from his nightmares. The one he's had nearly every night since his mother started her treatments. The one with the darkness and the wind and the screaming. This monster is something different though. Something ancient, something wild. And it wants the most dangerous thing of all from Connor. It wants the truth. So it sounds interesting. Like there is some kind of like eerie imagery going on. And then the rest of it's like, words. But I don't know, the artwork caught my eye 100%. And again, I think this one was like maybe 50 cent. And yeah, just said, why not? Seems like it'll be a good one for the spooky season. So the last one I have is nothing too exciting, but it is Percy Jackson and the Greek, I was about to say the geek, oh my God. The Greek Heroes by Rick Riordan. So I haven't ever read any of the Percy Jackson books, but I have slowly started to collect them from the charity shop. I have two others here. I have the Lightning Thief and the Sea of Monsters, and now this one. So as I'm going through the charity shops, I keep an eye out for them, and if they're in good condition, I pick them up. So yeah, this is just another one to add to the collection. And once I have the body of them, I want to sit and maybe read them all in one go. I loved the movie, devastated that they never continued the series. But I loved the first two movies. The first one was definitely my favourite. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into them eventually. So that is all the books I picked up over the past few weeks from charity shops. I will hopefully do another book haul eventually. I'm trying to let my new book collection build up, and then I'll do a new book haul because my birthday's coming up and I plan to buy myself a couple of books, maybe. I was trying to put myself on a book ban because I was buying so many, but it's my 30th birthday. I may as well treat myself to a few books. Why not? So yeah, if you made it this far, leave a comment down below if you've read any of these or you would like to read any of them. Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to hit a like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.